So we're at Superbooth 2017 with Gur from TipTop. It's great to meet you.
And Ben, we got Ben here. It's
It's good to meet. Some pounding modular techno all weekend, keeping the spirits really high.
Sure, yeah. This is the time of the year I usually tell it to people that, you know, that's the time where I can actually play my instruments. Because I got 3 days, I'm free to play. Just play, do nothing else.
It's great, it's been drawing us to the technos.
Yeah, just follow the beats, that's where we are.
So, the first thing I'd like to check out would be the Fold module.
Right.
Can we listen to the Fold, get a quick demo of the functions?
All right, so let's look at it first. So this is the Fold processor. It's based on a very old, 70s circuit, a diode circuit that basically fold the signal coming into it. It's all analog, obviously. It's a pretty aggressive module by its nature. The idea behind it was to enhance the waveforms originally coming from analog oscillators, and go back to the mind of people back in the 70s. Okay, that was the thinking. It's before samples. It's before anything else, right? So folding was another way of enhancing a signal, and what it does is basically it adds harmonics to a sound. So if we go through the Fold output, let's try and hear it. Let me take off a little bit. We got some delay here. We'll take it down. Okay, so. Let me change a bit. Okay, so.
Kind of thick and nasal folding. It sounds great.
Yes, it's again, these are analog circuits, and analog just have that. It's by design, and it's super organic. I like especially those areas where it starts opening it up, start adding harmonics before it's really screaming. There's a lot of resemblance between this and a filter, right? Because a low-pass filter basically adds up harmonics as you open it up. The Fold processor does, in a way, the same thing, because as you fold, you basically have higher and higher frequencies in the signal. So you get this, in a way, effect that is kind of similar, but different.
Functionally, it's the same thing. You turn up the Fold, the harmonics come in. You turn up the filter, the harmonics come in.
Exactly. Now, an interesting thing about the Folder is it got the inject input, which is basically the bias point of the signal. So
get into some asymmetrical clipping.
Exactly. It pushes the signal up or down and has an effect. So when you actually animate those two buttons together, you get a lot of in-between switch spots.
You can hear the low end really change as well with the bias.
Yes, exactly. So it really doesn't matter if you run a high-pitch signal or a low-pitch signal. When you apply it both two together via the CV inputs, you get a lot of animation and a lot of depth. It's a very interesting module. It's a screaming module, it's kind of like belong to more like the distortion, that kind of sounds.
Yeah, you sometimes see folders coupled into distortion processors.
Exactly. So when when you run it through a filter, you can start cutting off a little bit of the upper harmonics and just get like interesting tones. A lot of movement in the sound.
The two sit really nicely together. I think people do tend to use a folder after the oscillator or a filter. Having both is working really well.
Yes. What I do found very interesting is that if you take the Z2040 and put the resonance all the way to the max, it becomes an oscillator by itself, a pure sine wave oscillator. And when you run it through the the Fold processor, you get some really beautiful sounds because of the purity of the sine wave of the low-pass filter. So there's a lot of way of using it. You can obviously use it with oscillator, you can use it with samples, you can use it with sounds coming out of the Z-DSP or as a feedback inside the Z-DSP as a loop.
A little bit of folding on drums is nice. Just a touch.
I agree. Just a touch, because otherwise it's all breaking up.
Noisy mess.
Pieces, yeah. Now, so this was based on a design. A lot of people are familiar with the surge wave multiplier and the Buchla folding processing. So it's not something we invented, it's something we recreated. But what we did create is at the lower section, and that's the subdivide. And the subdivide, what it does, if I take it out from here. Okay, so
Are these square wave based dividers?
exactly. So these are 4 analog dividers, square wave dividers, and they are spaced 1 octave apart. Okay, so you divide by 1, divide by 2, by 4, and by 8. Okay, so if I turn all of them off, that's here, the first one. Okay, this is the first one, second one, third one, fourth one, right? Now, why are we using it here? We're using it here because a subdivider works by taking the 0 crossing point and fitting from there all those dividers. But the folding changes this 0 position. So when you apply the folding, you get a very interesting, weird effect. Listen to it.
It's almost like PWM at audio rate in a kind of...
It's a combination of PWM and the combination of the waves. It's just, I don't know even how to describe it. Just let's listen to it. You can hear how the octaves are coming in. Very aggressive. And obviously the inject has an effect. Okay.
And as well with a wave folder, when you really fold heavily, you do lose some of that bottom end in the fundamental. So it's nice to get the sub back underneath.
Exactly. So it's again, it's in the same nature of being so aggressive. The fold is so aggressive by nature, and then you add this. This is just anybody who likes, a lot of energy in his system. That's kind of like fit the bill.
So one thing that I wanted to ask was, will we see the whole TipTop range port over to the new look?
Yeah, I get this question a lot, and so that's good you're asking. Basically, everything that comes new is going to follow that. Things that have been done before that might change over time. Nothing specific at the moment. So anybody who's standing on the fence thinking, oh, I want to get it, but I'm not sure they're going to change it. Nothing is going to change anytime soon, so you can feel confidence. But in the future, who knows? We might redesign some of the stuff. Some of it is already pretty old. And it's just, it's for us, it's great to re-look at the things in a different way. We went from a very kind of dark, melancholic view into more colorful and happy. And it's a process. It's a how should I say? It's a way we are shifting into a new thinking.
Yeah. So it'd be nice. We've got the quantizer, the one sampler, obviously the drums, circadian rhythm. It'd be great to just get some audio jamming around on the patch. That's what's been luring us down the corridor to this booth.
All right.
So yeah, let's have a play around.
Okay, so let's see what we got here. So.
Well, it's sounding great. It's the law of modular techno. Thanks for running that down, and yeah, great to meet you.
Awesome. Thank you for coming, and I'll see you soon.
Yeah, thank you.